Hey guys, it's your boy Progress, and welcome to a brand new video. If you want to follow my other social media, I've got my Twitter and Instagram on screen and in the description below, so if you want, then go check those out. But today, we will be looking at a very interesting character who I spoke about over a year ago now, named Baby Goth. Now, if you don't know who Baby Goth is, then I highly suggest you actually go and watch my video that I did on her. I will be leaving a link to that in the description as well. In today's video, I'll be attempting to give you guys an overview of what has happened in just over the last year since making that video, because a lot of things have actually gone on behind the scenes as well as some things publicly that mostly have to do with her industry plant status, as well as some other things that went on that I haven't really talked about all that much. I think you guys will find it pretty interesting, so I suggest you stick around to the end. Let's start off with what happened exactly 1 week after uploading my original video, because that is when Hitway Recordings, which is the production side of Baby Goth's label, decided to try and hit me with a trademark infringement claim, which was on the basis that I showed their logo in my video. After they attempted to do this, I decided to contact their email, which was provided to me by YouTube, in hopes of being able to find some resolution to what was going on. Hey guys, editing Progress here, and I just wanted to let you know that some of the emails say they are from Hitway Recordings, and other ones will say they're from Pretty Young 3. Now, Pretty Young 3 is a group who is actually signed to Hitway, and that is the email that they decided to use to originally put the claim on my video. So it went back and forth between being just a member of Hitway responding to my emails and the actual CEO himself, sometimes on the Pretty Young 3 account as well. So if it's a little confusing, that is what's happening. When I emailed them, I explained in detail that they were abusing the flagging system on YouTube, as I did not violate any of the YouTube guidelines in that video, especially when it came to trademark, as I did not try and claim that I owned the company, nor did I try and claim that I owned the trademark or their logo or anything at all. Even just looking at how janky of a job they did though, filling out that trademark complaint, you can see pretty easily that they had no idea what they were doing, seeing as they put their trademark number as Hitway Fox. Ah yes, such great numbers. But after this, I started to realize that it may have instead been their attempt at taking down my video by any means necessary, especially when they decided to respond to my email to them saying, quote, "Noted, then we'll report it for something else. Thanks," end quote. After this, there was just a long back and forth of me saying that I did not infringe on their trademark, and them saying, "Oh yeah, but like, you're making our artist look bad," and me saying, "Well, that has absolutely nothing to do with what trademark infringement is, so I don't understand why this is being brought up." But eventually, this ended up landing me in a call with a member of Hitway, and then eventually the CEO, in hopes to try and figure out what was going on, but then they tried to bribe me into taking down the Baby Goth video, offering that instead they would give me an interview with her.
My label basically said that if you take the video down, we can like do like an interview with you and Baby, and y'all can like then get a lot more views, I'm pretty sure, where y'all can like, you know, talk, and you can actually get like for real facts and stuff, you know what I mean?
Essentially, my argument against this at first was saying that why would I take down a video and then do an interview with that person that is supposed to be based on a video that is no longer existent on the channel, so then no one would be able to go back and check to see if she was lying or if what she said was checking out. Plus, obviously, I stand by the general message of that video, so it wouldn't make sense for me to just take it down. So it just became another back and forth because they wanted the video down, but I told them that I would only do the interview under the circumstances that the video stayed on my channel. The call eventually ended, and then the next day I did send them my formal response through email, where I stated that I would not be taking down the video and I was not accepting their offer of an interview. Essentially because the whole thing kind of seemed sketchy in the first place, with how there was no guarantees for anything like the quality of responses she'd give, which questions she'd actually answer from me, or if she would even be truthful in general. Not only that, but it did not help the situation at all that the way that they tried to start this conversation with me at first was by them falsely putting a trademark infringement claim on my video. So I had absolutely no reason to trust the situation. The CEO of Hitway ended up actually responding to me by email next though, saying, quote, "Hey, this is Daryl from Hitway. Just know karma is everything in life and you are going to get yours. It's cool." End quote. So yeah, I'd say he didn't take that too well. I was kind of hoping that after that, you know, the whole ordeal would be done with them, but that's not at all what happened, because 3 days later, they ended up sending me another email, once again trying to claim that I infringed on their trademark, that I was telling all these lies, and that I was weird, as well as claiming that they were going to get my video taken down. I once again then had to explain to them that I did not infringe on their trademark, I was not telling lies, and that they were being extremely unprofessional. Which of course, as any professional response to an email does, Hitway ended up sending back saying this, quote, "I promise I will take this down. I do not want my logo in your video. I will take this down, promise you this. You cannot have my logo up without my permission, that's just a fact. I will take this down, you bitch. We tried to do things professional, you don't care about that. You don't care about the untruths to the video, I don't care about your channel. I promise you this, what you're doing is a mistake. You know the video has lies in it, and it's so published. You wanna be an artist, that's the funny part." End quote. No, actually, I think the funny part in this situation is you're a professional business, and your emails send as if they were written by toddlers. But after that all happened, that was basically the rest of me having to deal with Hitway at that point. So let's move on to how Baby Goth decided to handle this whole situation. Starting off with what I would say ended up becoming the most infamous interview that Baby Goth has ever done, which was the No Jumper interview with Adam22. It was so strange, the conversation was super dry, Baby Goth basically half-answered most of the questions that she got, and the comment section just tore her apart. It was honestly one of the funniest things I have ever seen. But you know what, when it came to that interview with Adam22, Baby Goth proved that you can achieve your dreams. Of course, if your dreams are that, you know, you don't know how to use a mic properly, so Adam22 has to continuously, over and over again, readjust your microphone, even though somehow you are a professional recording artist that is signed to one of the largest record labels on the planet. But yeah, apparently she doesn't know how a mic works. In the interview, she does actually explain how she was found, but it does not really help her case at all when it comes to the industry plant allegations, because this is what she had to say about how she got signed.
And then I was just doing like covers and shit, like maybe once a week or something, and then Hitway found me on the Explore page and then flew me out. Explain who Hitway is for the people at home. They're my production label. They just deal with all my recording, like they record my music and stuff. Okay. Yeah. How'd you meet them? He just DM'd me one day. Oh, okay. Daryl from Helen. And they just saw the vision? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he called me and he said that I reminded him of Trippie Redd, and I didn't know who that was at that time. You didn't? No.
Okay, so she was doing covers, not even original music. She was then found on the Explore page of Instagram and immediately flown out to Hitway to go and get signed, all because the CEO of Hitway thought that she reminded him of Trippie Redd. Yeah, which also she mentions earlier in the interview that her and Trippie Redd just happened to end up with the same engineer.
So, okay, so me and Trippie have the same audio engineer.
Audio engineer?
Mm-hmm, Igor.
Okay.
And so that's how we met.
And as she mentions as well, she ended up meeting Trippie Redd because of Hitway, and that is how she ended up on his song before having any music released under the Baby Goth name, as well as how Trippie Redd ended up onto her first ever song. Oh yeah, and just bringing it back a little bit, speaking of those covers, I have found it pretty interesting that one of the ads that she did a while back was for a company that makes face masks, where she seemingly claimed to them that she was singing a cover for the Weeknd song The Hills, when in reality the audio was ripped from Melanie Martinez's song called Mad Hatter, which I'm pretty sure that doing that is illegal, by the way, which YouTube seemed to actually have a problem with it too, as they auto-detected that the song was Mad Hatter by Melanie Martinez, and they copyright claimed the song. So because of this, now we don't even know how many of those covers were actually her singing, or it was Melanie Martinez or someone else. Now when it comes to how Lil Xan ended up getting featured on Baby Goth's first song, she actually also gave us an explanation for that, which she says here.
How'd you meet Xan?
My manager works with him.
Oh, nice.
You know, the whole thing of, oh, it just happens that her manager works with Lil Xan. Oh, and also she can just work with Trippie Redd. Like, it all seems very coincidental. But from that interview, we're actually also able to go over a few things that Baby Goth has been trying to spout out around, you know, to the general public about my original video. And this has gone on up until just recently, which this was brought to my attention by a user on Instagram named Lil Housephone Jr. So thank you for actually showing me that she's still saying this stuff so I can address it. Which essentially is that Baby Goth has been trying to discredit my entire video on her on the basis that, oh, she has 2 kids, not 1, and she claims she's never been married in her entire life, so all of my research was just wrong. So let's actually get into that, because I've been waiting to cover this for a while. Firstly, on the point of her having 2 kids, not 1, alright? I mean, I'm not wrong for saying that you have a kid, because you do have one. If you want to play the semantics game, that's really up to you, but you need to remember that before the point of my video, there were no pictures or videos or anything on her Instagram of her and her children, so all I was able to find was the stuff that was still up publicly from other sources. It wasn't until after my video was released that now she pretty frequently posts her children. Oh, and by the way, isn't it just absolutely crazy that in the call that I had with Hitway, they actually told me that it seems as though Baby Goth's image was supposed to include not showing that she had children at all. And because of that, the label was upset that I let that out.
She does have kids, it's obviously people know that. But the label, like, she signed to Republic, and they didn't want that to be public because that can hurt, like, people's view of her for some reason. I don't really understand why, but it can hurt people's view of her. So we were waiting until after she drops her EP, which is next month, to come out with that. So it's just like, it messed up timing of a lot of stuff, and like the label, like Republic is super mad about it. So they're trying to make us take it down, and then the smaller production company, Hitway, who I'm with, as well as Baby, he was just in here, he was on the phone with Baby. She's about to like go public with the kid thing, but he just really wants to take it down because it's making her look bad. And
also, just so that it's clear, it is perfectly legal for me to have recorded that conversation with them, as by the Justice Laws website of the Government of Canada. If you scroll down to section 184.2 subsection 1, as you can see here, that you are allowed to be able to record a call as long as one of the people in the call has given consent to, meaning that since I gave consent to record my own phone call, then I was allowed to record it. Yeah, so apparently I guess Republic just didn't want it to be out that she had children because that somehow ruined her image. And with the information I've now provided, it seems a lot more likely that it wasn't the amount of kids that I talked about that was the problem, it was an issue that I talked about her having children at all. And also, when it comes to the point of her trying to say that she was never married, well, let's get into that one. Because I find it super interesting that, as previously shown in my last video, Baby Goth had an Indiegogo page when she was known as Bria Bueno, where when talking about where the proceeds for all of the donations would go, she said, quote, "All proceeds will go towards the funding of 4 songs for my EP, travel, and hotel stay for myself, husband, and son during our short stay in California while recording." End quote. The key word there being husband. She can claim all she wants that, oh, I'm wrong, she was never married, blah, 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 but these are her words. Also, when it comes to the situation of whether or not she was married, on the No Jumper interview, she said this.
Okay, so you have 2 kids, and then how long it's out after that till you decide that you need to break up? Or do you get divorced?
Yeah, I mean, we were never like married. It was like a common law type thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now here she's claiming that she was common law, not married. That's crazy, considering in this clip, she said that she's from Texas.
I'm from Texas originally.
Where in Texas?
Like around Dallas.
Okay.
I was born in Arlington, but I moved like all around us.
And on the Government of Texas State Law Library, in section 2.401 of the Texas Family Code, it states that the common law marriage is a valid and legal way to marry and is proven by evidence that the couple has, quote, agreed to be married and after agreement lived together in this state as husband and wife, and they represented to others that they were married, end quote. Or even once again, you know, let's go take a look back at that Indiegogo page, because at the time when she called him her husband, she stated that she was living in Colorado. Well, once again, on the Colorado government site for the Department of Public Health and Environment, they have a section on common law marriage where they provide a sample of an affidavit, which is a legal document that you sign under oath to be true, and the law states that to be considered common law, you need to be over 18, not have a previous running marriage, and understand that, quote, we are married to each other, and understand that common law marriage holds all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities of a lawful marriage. We understand that only death or divorce may terminate the marriage, end quote. But oh guys, she was never married because she claimed she was never married. Oh, she's never been married before, guys. Oh, that's crazy, because your own statements that you have made say otherwise, and the law disproves everything that you have claimed past that. I know she claims right now that she's not married, and honestly, I don't care about that. I'm sure she's not married because I know divorce exists, but to try and claim outright that you were never married when you've made those previous statements, that is just an outright lie. Now, moving on from that, though, during the time of around late April to early May, Baby Goth ended up posting some things to her Instagram story that were relatively out of character for her. And these posts ended up grabbing my attention, and I'm sure many others as well. Out of the 4 things she posted, the most important pieces came from when she had said, quote, I need to say something. Most of y'all know I have depression. Recently, it's been escalating so much. I do a good job at hiding it most of the time, but right, it's gotten so bad I can't really do anything, end quote. She then followed that up with saying, quote, and since things started falling into place, I've been put through so much in this industry already and taken advantage of so often that it's changed pieces of me and I can't find them anymore. End quote. To me, these posts really do feel like a cry for help and also seem to reinforce what I have said time and time again about how predatory the music industry is when it comes to picking people up in the way that they did with Baby Goth. And although Baby Goth has tried to claim in the past that she has almost like full control over everything that she's doing, this stuff kinda contradicts that. I'd also like to add that, as previously stated in my original video, these changes did seem pretty apparent to most people who saw what happened. Now, something that I think almost perfectly shows that her whole image and everything else is fabricated is not even just from the words of myself, no. There is actually a video that was uploaded that is now enlisted on the YouTube channel for Hitway from the CEO of Hitway that was titled, Creator of Industry Plant Exposes Baby Goth. And in that video, this is what the CEO of Hitway had to say about her.
A lot of these artists are not what you think they are, right? You know? Baby Goth talks about all this cool stuff and women's rights and all that shit. That bitch ain't nothing like that, right? The first thing I did, because I know that bitch like a potato. She has no personality. So I was like, since a person can't speak, you gotta make them look cool, right? So we get a cool name, right? She not goth, but the goth wave is popping. So he's like, fuck it, let's do the goth thing, you know what I mean? Yeah, and she talks like a baby, so I put Baby Goth together, right? So that's how I came up with the name at the end of the day, right? It was easy. All we had to do, get face tats, because all these artists got face tats, right? So you build an aesthetic, you build a brand, right? So when she walks into the office, she looks cool. You know what I mean? That's all labels want. Labels want something that's not like themselves, right? At the end of the day. Because most label niggas are boring, right? And out of touch. So they want to sign niggas that look cool. Because aesthetic and brand is everything. Music don't mean shit. Because when we walked into the office, the music was trash. Keep it 100, right? But it's not about the music anymore, right? It's about the look and aesthetic, as fucked up as it is, right?
Now, I don't know, maybe you could make the argument that he could have made this in just like he was upset about something and he did that, so, you know, maybe that was why it happened, but I really don't think that's the case when you actually look at the video's length of seeing that this is a 28-minute long video, essentially, that is all about him talking about the things that he thinks people need to do to be able to get signed by major labels. So I kind of feel like he is actually telling the truth, which is super strange, because I don't think he understands, though, that by doing that, he essentially proved my main argument to be true, which most people in this situation would probably do in a whole hoorah and, you know, oh, we did it, victory, victory, but in reality, it's a bittersweet victory. Because on one hand, yes, what I have been saying about industry plants is actually seeming to be true, but on the other hand, we have to deal with the fact that, unfortunately, this is still happening to people, and people continue to support this side of the industry, which is so unfortunate. Like, really, what has music as an art form become if that is the norm? And that right there is the perfect reason as to why the message against industry plants and against the creation of industry plants is something that I will continue to push. But I think that's gonna have to do it for today's video, as I covered quite a bit about what has happened in the last year regarding Baby Goth's industry plant status and those few other things I mentioned as well. So, you know, leave a like and subscribe if you want to keep seeing more content like this, as well as leave a comment down below as to what you think about this whole situation and what has gone on in the last year, or just leave a comment, you know, recommending a type of video that you might want to see from me in the future, as I usually read all the comments, so I would, you know, I'm interested to see what you guys want. But thank you so much as well to all of my patrons. You guys help me out so much, and a special thanks to my $10 and up patrons this month, those being Farski, Midwest Funky, Helen, and Jojobean. Your donations help me so much when it comes to the production of this content and making me be able to get it out to you guys way more regularly now, so thank you guys so much. It means the world to me. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and always remember, it should be art over algorithm. Goodbye.
Baby, I can't remember anything without you. I swear I wake up every day like, what did I do to deserve you? I never hurt you, cause you're my earth, but my purpose to serve you. Please don't run away, never go away. I just wanna see your face every single day. Having you is fate, I don't wanna wait.